Hello. You're tuning to the episode of The Wunderkind Morning Show. Good morning. How was everybody's weekend? I am here live. And I'm with you guys for another morning show. Let me get to the chat immediately and see how everyone's doing. King Blaze, good morning. Michael Aikens, morning. What's good? Delvon, yes, I need this in my life. Yeah, what's good? T Sizzle, hello. My daughter loves saying that, and I love hearing it, bruh. I love it. How's everybody doing? How was y'all weekends? Hope everyone's safe and sound. I need a morning slap. I just gave one, but I got you, Eric Clark. I got you. So listen, guys, man. Hey, for everybody that is here that has not liked and subscribed, please go and like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we're trying to get this monetized as quickly as possible, up to at least 1,000, and then we got some of the stuff for the channel that we're going to be doing. So yeah, so please, if you have not already done so, please like and subscribe and get that out there. But yeah, we have an action-packed show today. Pretty much, the Eagles declined the White House's invitation for their Super Bowl victory. And then all weekend, there's been a debate over the LeBron and Kobe legacies and careers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into both of them. Y'all already know what it is. And we're going to get going soon. Bubba Mom, good morning. Eli Sports Guy, good morning. What's good? But definitely we're going to be talking about those two topics. So it's going to be jumping between NBA and NFL. But yeah, it some of it was like, I was kind of looking at it like, okay, I see where y'all are trying to go with some of this. But I think that I'm going to ruffle some people's feathers badly in this episode. Like I always do. So we're going to get to see what happens. But let's get started. And thank you again for showing up for the Wunderkind Morning Show. Look, guys, I'm going to be real with you. If you did not know what was going on, like I said, the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant has been in the news with a lot of fans this weekend about not only his legacy, but about how good he compares to LeBron James. Now, I already know that this is going to touch some people's nerves because Kobe Bryant is beloved. On top that, Eli Sports Guy said Steve Smith. Yo, listen, man, I covered the Steve. A lot of Raven fans are mad about the Steve Smith stuff, man. They were mad I even covered it. Like, they were pissed. But I'm like, bro, it's current news, so I got to. But definitely, yeah, that was frustrating this weekend, too, the Steve Smith stuff. Eli Sports Guy. Morning, Coach. What's up? Sip the Tally Films is here. Yes, sir. If y'all haven't already subscribed, go check him out. Film breakdown. I believe he's doing a lot of mock drafts and stuff like that for the upcoming draft. So give him a look. Give him a shout out, guys. But yeah, so a lot of people were talking about the Kobe Bryant and the LeBron debate. And look, Kobe Bryant, I don't care what anybody says, and I wasn't the biggest Kobe guy, is one of the greatest basketball players to ever put on shoes. For at least almost a decade, he was the best player, all-around player in the NBA. And he won 5 titles during his career. Now, with that being said, people were debating him versus LeBron James. And anybody that follows Nitro or the Wunderkind network, either it be from the show or the morning show, y'all know I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan. I can respect the man. I'm happy for his accomplishments, but I'm not the biggest LeBron guy. With that being said, LeBron James has had a better career than Kobe Bryant. And I don't understand really how that's even at this point debatable. Now, I know where people pivot to. I know where they go to. I know some people say, oh, well, LeBron had to get his titles by stacking the chips and everything else, like, which I totally agree with. But let's not act like Kobe Bryant didn't play alongside Shaquille the Diesel O'Neal. Let's not act like he didn't have Phil Jackson, Ron Artest, like Robert Horry. Like, yo, the list goes on. And I'm not trying to be negative because once again, if you're doing the top 10, both of them are in the top 10. I don't see how you do the top 10 and both those players are not there. But when you look at totality of a career from beginning to end, I don't know how you put and say Kobe Bryant had a better career than LeBron James. I don't see it. Now look, I can make the argument, of course, because you already know Jordan is number one. He's uno. I'm not debating. I don't care how you feel. Look, Michael Jordan is number one. I don't even understand how people debate it. LeBron has the longevity stats, but when you look at averages, when you look at accomplishments, look, Michael Jordan is just on another tier. Matter of fact, I can go so far as even saying, before I even go further with the LeBron stuff, if you take all of Kevin Durant's accomplishments and put them with the accomplishments of a LeBron James, you still don't equate to Michael Jordan's career. That's crazy, right? It's factual. Go look it up if you think I'm lying. So I'm not arguing that. I think people, because not only was Kobe beloved, I think a lot of people, they saw themselves in Kobe. Kobe was a flawed individual. And what I mean by that is he had a lot of faults. So it humanized him. It let a lot of people come down and say, you know what? He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. I like him because he's went through a lot of tribulations in his life and he's done well. So a lot of people connect with Kobe Bryant on that level. Also on top of it, they connect with the point that people say he's the closest thing we have seen to Michael Jordan since Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So there's that also. But once again, we're going to talk about this in its totality. Kobe Bryant's first 2 years in the league were not great. They were not magical. Now, I know people say, well, he came out of high school. This is actually a very good comparison because both of them came out of high school. Both. Not one, both. So and both of them played for well over 20 years. I think Kobe played just 20 years, something like that. But Kobe, when you look at it from the beginning, he struggled. He struggled. The first 2 years, it wasn't great. His second year was a lot better than his first. His third year is when he started to really take off as a player. And it's when the Lakers started winning. And they won big time. I mean, I believe the Lakers are the last three-peat in professional sports or whatever else it is. And they just, him and Shaq were dominating together. Because Kobe became the perimeter player that, the Lakers organization seen him becoming. And Shaquille O'Neal was the most dominating inside presence since Wilt Chamberlain. So it was a 1-2 punch that there was nothing really you could do with. In mind you, I'm an Allen Iverson guy. I watched Allen Iverson go toe-to-toe with both of them and almost scrape it out. But his little body, his little shoulders, that 165-pound frame could not win a 7-game series against them. He beat him in the regular season. Heck, he beat him in the first game of the finals. He just could not take it over the top. And that's because the 1-2 punch that was a Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal was just that dominating. It was that good. Now check this out. I want to make sure that you understand this. Kobe Bryant's first season in the league in 1996-97, right? He averaged 15.5 minutes per game. That's 7.6 points per game, 1.9 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists per game. His second season, he averaged 15.4 points a game, 3.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and he went up to 26 minutes a game. His third season, like I said, he went up to 37.9 minutes per game, 19.9 points per game. So 37.9 minutes, 5.3 rebounds, 3.8 assists. Then, of course, it went up to 22.5 points a game, 28.5 points a game, 25.2 points a game, 30 points a game, 24 points a game, 27.6 points a game, 35.4 points a game, 31.6 points a game, 28.3 points a game, 26.8 points a game, 27 points a game, 25 a game, 27.9, 27.3. He got hurt, right? And he went down to 13.8, went back up to 22.3, right? 5-5. Then his last season, 17.6, 3-2. Okay? One had Shaq, Paul, the other had, yeah, and I get it. Now, once again, Eli, that's where a lot of people start getting their differentiation, right? Because one's going to say he had Shaq, Pal, you didn't put Ron Artest in there. Ron Artest deserves to be in there. They wouldn't have won without Ron Artest. Robert Horry deserves to be in there. Robert Horry is one of the most clutch players in NBA history, and it's putting him against anybody. Clutch players, Robert Horry is top 3 all time. Now, how good? Now, you're saying Wade, Bosh, Irving, Davis, and now Luka. Yeah, I believe LeBron has had more help from superstars than Kobe. I don't know how you argue that. That's factual. As a fact, the league even blocked Chris Paul from going to the Lakers to join up with Kobe Bryant. Good morning, Mario. Good morning. An habitual line stepper. Good morning. Good morning. And Ray Allen also is what LeBron had. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like this. Kobe, at one point of his career, was never Batman. He was Robin. He was undoubtedly Robin. And then, after the three-peat, they brought in Gary. People forget about this. They brought in Gary Payton. They brought in Karl Malone. Karl Malone, I believe, averaged 20 points that year. And then, of course, they got hurt. They failed. They got failed against the what's it called? The Detroit Pistons. And then the team was broken up because Kobe, and this is, of course, documented, thought he could do it without them. He said, look, I don't need Shaq. I don't want Shaq. I don't need nor want Phil Jackson. What's his name? I think he was talking to my wife, Karl Malone. Yeah, he needs to go too. Gary Payton, I mean, he could stay. I like his defense. I like his trash talk. He could stay, but the other ones, they got to go. Like, people are forgetting, and people do not understand, Kobe should have more rings than what he has. See, that's the other part that people don't talk about. Kobe Bryant should have more rings than what he has. It's revisionist history to believe that he doesn't. He capitulated and forced those guys off of the team. It was in Phil Jackson's book. Shaquille O'Neal and him had big drop-offs and beef because of it. Good morning, King Lee. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were talking about it throughout the media about Kobe wanting to do it by himself. He saw, because a lot of people say, he wanted that pressure of being the guy. He wanted it to be his team. And everybody already knows you can't follow two masters. And Shaquille O'Neal was unwilling to relinquish his leadership role in the team with Kobe Bryant. He did. Now, context, he did it with Dwayne Wade, right? When that's when the Heat won, right? He did it with Dwayne Wade. But he was unwilling to relinquish that with Kobe. Kobe wanted them off, and he wanted the pressure to be on him, like at the time, like the McGrady's, the Allen Iversons, the Vince Carters, when those guys, literally, it was on them night in and night out. And that's when the NBA during the regular season was playing defense to play every game. Like, they're playing defense every game. You weren't taking nights off. Guys were battling, diving out of, like, into the first row for balls, pause, you know what I'm saying? All those things. So, once again, I'm telling you everything with context. When Kobe was given that opportunity to be one of those guys, he faltered majorly. Majorly. I believe if you do not count his first 2 years and his final year, right, when the year he got hurt, that was his worst season in the NBA. his worst season. And if you do not believe, I think I can find it right here because the drop is crazy. I believe that's the 03-04 season, if I'm not mistaken. Where his shooting percentage dropped off the map. And he was chucking up everything, and they were losing a lot of games. And, of course, he said, well, it's because I got Smush Parker in them and everything else. But once again, you had people like Allen Iverson and them carrying their team to the playoffs with crappy supporting casts. Same thing with Vince. Same thing with McGrady. So, you know what I mean? You said, wait, and LeBron didn't? What do you mean, and Bron didn't? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by like Bron didn't? I don't get what you mean by that. Oh, Bron folded numerous of times. Kobe Bryant is folding in the playoffs too. Kobe Bryant folded. This is why I try to tell people once again, I put everything in its entirety, right? I'm looking at it that LeBron choked, yes. He choked against the San Antonio Spurs, and he choked against the Dallas Mavericks. You can't even argue it. And his stats and everything else show that. My thing is, once again, Kobe wasn't always Batman. And on top of it, he should have more rings, but his selfishness pushed out the players and and the coaching staff so he could do it like everybody else said he'd do it. And he found he went through big problems during that time dealing with that. People don't like to bring that up. I'll bring that up. It's factual. It is factual. AI and Mutombo was nice. Mutombo was old at that time. Like AI got a old Mutombo. Old. Mutombo had no offense. None. He was offenseless. Hey! He had Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, what's his name? Tyrone. Forgot his name. Tyrone, whatever. But he had him too. None of those guys, the only one out of those guys that could score even a little bit was Aaron McKee. That's it. Good morning, Kush. Good morning. Coach, what do you mean by you're going to get your dictionary? What do you mean by that? All right, habitual line is that Kobe will still end up with more rings than LeBron. They would have never let Kobe be him unless he took a stance. Look, if I'm not mistaken, don't they have the... No, yeah, that's right. That's right, because Bron got 2 with Miami, 1 with Thing, and then 1 with the Lakers. So, yeah, I can see, okay. Okay. I can see what you're saying that. Me personally, I have LeBron at number 1 because of his longevity, how long he's been able to play and still be good, and Westbrook number 2. Mario B, I'll be real with you. He's not number 1 just because he's played long. The same reason why Kareem wasn't number 1 as long as he had all those statistics. The NBA is nowhere near the physical play style that they were previously. It's not even close. It's the same, like guys could not play 15 years unless you were a center because those hits would have taken their toll. Everybody says, well, LeBron would have been delivering hits. He would have been absorbing a lot of hits. A lot of hits. That's why if you see a lot of NBA players, their backs. Bird, his back. Charles Barkley, his back. Like, what's it called? Crap, I forgot his name. But a lot of them, even Steve Kerr, his back. He was a shooter. Their backs couldn't hold up to 15 years of that play style and people holding you, grabbing you, getting pushed in the lane, hard fouls. You know what I'm saying? When you went up, you had to go up on 2-3 people. It wasn't a spread out game. And even the teams that tried to spread it out eventually could not beat the more physical teams because everybody knows that three-point shooting goes out the window when your legs start to get tired. If you played basketball, that's what had happened. The closest we ever had for a truly great three-point shooting team beating out the best was the Sacramento Kings versus the Lakers, which, once again, context, I truly believe the NBA cheated the Kings from the Lakers beating them, because the amount of free throws that the Lakers were given in that series is ridiculous. Nitro, as you were a coach and you could choose any all-time 5, who are you choosing? Okay, that's not even hard. That's pretty easy. Okay. Number 1, I got Allen Iverson as my point. Number 2, I got Jordan at my 2. Right? Number 3, I got Bird. Number 4, I would go with Tim Duncan. And number 5, I go with Shaquille O'Neal. You're not beating that 5. You're not. You are not. Now, I know people are going to say, why would you have a point guard like Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson leading the break with his speed. Like, people don't understand. You have to look at basketball like a basketball team that could flourish in every era, because certain teams cannot flourish in every era. Like, Iverson is going to give you decent defense. He's going to give you a lot of steals. He's going to play those passing lanes almost perfectly with alongside a Michael Jordan with his defensive prowess, a Larry Bird with his three-point shooting ability and also his passing ability, having a Tim Duncan with his defensive ability, his ability to score off the block, so he doesn't have to be in the paint to get all of his points, and a Shaquille O'Neal where there has to be 2 people guarding him at all times. Bro, we're beating every team. We're beating every team. We're beating every team. Now, here's the thing. I could switch out Bird for Kevin Durant, for Kevin Durant's length, and ability to guard multiple positions, but that's the only thing. If I probably have Kevin Durant coming off as my 6th, straight up. That'd be my 5 with my 6th man off the bench. I don't see any team being able to beat them. Because let me let you understand right now, there's nobody that can guard Allen Iverson. None. None. You even see it in the All-Star games when back then they would put people and they'd be like, okay, we can't just concentrate on him. He was cooking everybody. He was cooking Kobe, McGrady, Vince, all of them. None of them could guard him. So next to a Michael Jordan, who you got to double with Shaquille O'Neal in the paint, it's cookies. It's easy money. With Kevin Durant or Larry Bird with their shooting, and a Tim Duncan Kyrie's not better than Allen Iverson. He's not. Let me let you understand that now. Curry can't play defense. Kyrie can't play defense. Zion, he's a physical specimen, but he'll probably be hurt after the 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So all you guys, Bron and KD. That's factual. But once again, good morning, Nitro. Did you do your homework? Listen, man, I don't need much homework when it comes to basketball. I'm pretty good when it comes to historical texts and stuff like that of basketball. That was my sport. I was a historical buff of the NBA, big time. From all the way from the Bernard Kings, the Walt Fraziers, and all of them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was big on, big on. So but people don't understand about the NBA is that when you're building a team, you have to have a team that can play in all eras. That's just factual. Now, back to what I was saying with the LeBron and the Kobe debate. Once again, LeBron, great player, best of his era. I don't even understand how you even argue that, because KD and Steph has not had the career that LeBron James had. That's factual. But once again, Kobe, I put Kobe behind LeBron because LeBron has had to be that dude, regardless of teammates or whatever else it is. He's had to be Batman. And on top of it, there was times even when the Cleveland Cavaliers were not surrounding LeBron with all that talent. He had them the best in the East going up against the best in the West. Like, that run that LeBron, even though he faltered against the San Antonio Spurs, that was one of the greatest runs to the finals that I've ever seen. It's top 3 all time. The only other 2 that you could argue would be the 8th seeded New York Knicks and Allen Iverson on the Philadelphia 76ers. That is it. Those are the 3 best runs at the NBA Finals that has ever been in the history of the NBA. And LeBron was young. What was that, his 3rd season, 4th season in the league? So, like I said before, I put things in context. Am I a LeBron guy? No. But Kobe has more rings. Yes. LeBron beats him out in almost everything else. Everything else. And I want everyone to understand this. Use your thinking cap. The NBA is not just about rings. And it's not just about stats. If it was just about rings, right? Oh, I'm sorry. If it was just about stats, Wilt Chamberlain would have been the greatest ever, and there would be no argument. The man averaged 50 and 25. When you're averaging 50 points a game and 25 rebounds a game, bro, I don't care what area you're in. That's ridiculous. LeBron could go over to China and he won't be averaging those type of stats. Like, that's ridiculous. 50 points, 25 rebounds, 10 assists. Like, come on now, bro. Ridiculous. And then if you wanted just rings as being the greatest, if that was the end all, it'd be Bill Russell. It's the accumulation of both. That's why so many people say Michael Jordan is the best, because he did the 2-3-peats, so he got the rings, and on top of it, he led the league in scoring. 10 or 11 times? The man was a defensive player of the year. There's so much things that he did. Magic can't shoot, and he turned over the ball at a higher rate than Allen Iverson. So I get Magic as being one of the greatest players of all time. But yeah. Iverson can distribute the ball just fine. We've seen him do it. Like, Allen Iverson with the ball in his hands, distributing was great. But he had to be a scorer for Philadelphia. And when he was allowed to, when all that pressure wasn't on him, he could shoot the 3-ball. You saw it in the Olympics. So that's what I'm trying to say, bro. So I'm running Allen at my 1. His speed, the fast break that he could run, and the pressure he could put on your defense as a finisher also, next to Michael, and with how much steals he would get, and then you had to worry about Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, bro, I'm picking AI. I didn't hear that since the 5th grade, King Lee. Yeah. Listen, Magic would post AI. But on the other end, Magic could do nothing with Allen Iverson. Nothing. He did not have the foot speed to deal with an Allen Iverson. Not at all. He would go around Magic all day. Magic would just say, just shoot. And as you already know, if you give Allen Iverson just wide open shots, he's going to hit them and hit them often. And then he's going to get hot, and then you're cooked. Cooked. Could Allen Iverson guard Magic? Nope. It's too small. But Magic could not guard Allen Iverson. He didn't have the speed. He didn't have the lateral quickness. Nothing. So you can just chop that up to whatever you want. And mind you, people seem to not understand. This Allen Iverson played in a league where you could beat dudes up. Scottie Pippen and Jordan couldn't stop Allen Iverson as a rookie with Dennis Rodman. If you want context, once again, when it comes to NBA along those times and going further back, you're not going to be in a conversation with me. I know the statistics and everything down pat, and I watched it. I studied it. And if you watch when Kobe shifted on to Allen Iverson, right? Kobe was getting cooked. They were allowing Kobe to grab his jersey, hit his hand. Like, there's multiple, when Iverson shooting, and Kobe would just hit his hand. And then Iverson's like, and they're like, no foul. We're not going to. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a reason why Kobe said, bro, y'all don't realize how good that man was. A lot of times, once again, this is why I'm saying the media that's why I like the media, because the media never gave a player like Allen Iverson his flowers. You know where I'm coming from? It's the same thing they do with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, they don't like Kareem, so that's why when you're talking about the best of all time and everything else, you barely hear the media bring up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly Lew Alcindor. Like, you don't hear them bring that up. the media plays a big part on how we view a lot of these players. Big part. And when you start breaking it down and being like, oh my gosh, like, dang, that's crazy. Like, I don't remember that. Bro, Allen Iverson was an amazing player, man. If he ever had the guys around him, he would have won a ring. Shaquille O'Neal and them came out, they said if the Philadelphia 76ers went against any other team that year in the finals, they're beating them. Mind you, that's against a Lakers squad that swept every team they played in the West. That's including your beloved Tim Duncan. That little 5'10" dude said, you could keep that, bro. I'm going to break it. Y'all ain't coming in here and stepping. Like, you don't get this work. And he went to work. And that's why a lot of times why I have such a problem with the media. I remember that vividly. With him saying, you can put the brooms away because the Lakers swept everybody. Then once again, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is when Kobe Bryant had a prime Shaquille O'Neal. People do not understand, for the people that did not watch basketball, y'all really don't understand how good, how dominating Shaquille O'Neal was. He would foul out all of your centers. All of that would be on the bench. I don't care if you couldn't shoot free throws. Everybody was in foul trouble when Shaquille O'Neal was on the court. Everybody. He'd foul out your starting center. He would start out your secondary center. Then because you don't have no one left, a lot of teams started carrying 3 big men just to take on Shaq to absorb fouls. Because then what teams started to do was to hack a Shaq. And then everybody thought, then you put your power forward on him. Now he's getting fouled out. Bro, y'all don't understand just how good Shaquille O'Neal was. Y'all don't understand how dominating he was. To play, if Allen Iverson got to play with Shaquille O'Neal, he wins a ring. Tracy McGrady gets to play with Shaquille O'Neal, he wins a ring. Vince Carter gets to play with Shaquille O'Neal, he wins a ring. Y'all not understanding this. Shaquille needed a guard to get him the ball and a guard that could stop everybody from collapsing on him. I can name 5 different people that could do that. That's not a shot at Kobe. I'm just being real. If y'all never watched Shaquille O'Neal in his prime, bro, man, let me tell you something right now, bro. I watched this man. I watched him go up with three Philadelphia 76ers, three Sixers players on his back. Him still take all of them up there, slam it, come down, and then push them off of him. All 3 fall, and he looks at it. You can't stop the Diesel. Don't try to ever stop Superman. Like, come on now, bro. Y'all y'all got to understand just how dominating certain players were. Shaquille O'Neal was a phenomenon in the interior. We've never seen a player like Shaquille since Wilt. It's like, okay, now, what about when Kobe went to 3 straight finals without Shaq? Yeah, he did once he got another great roster. The roster was a really good roster for that time. And remember, people compare the rosters back then to what it is now because people started teaming up and everything else. Kobe Bryant had a very good roster. Pau Gasol was a steal. He had Ron Artest. Like, he had guys once, if you did not live during that time and watch these games, right? You don't know what I'm talking about. Magic shot better from the field than Iverson. Iverson was the only scorer on his team. He had to go out there and put up 30 when everybody knew he was the only offensive weapon. They were knocking him out of the air, grabbing him, pulling him, everything. Magic had a plethora of great players. He got to play with Kareem, James Worthy. Like, bro, don't do this. I'm telling you, don't do this. Don't. Like, bro, Magic, once again, came into an amazing team. He was the missing piece, just like Bird was the missing piece for, for the Celtics. Before Bird got there, they had Kevin McHale. They had Robert Parrish. What? Hold on, wait. You said what? Listen, and Powell was switching between power forward and center a lot of time for the Lakers. Who? You had Tim Duncan. Who? Who was the power forwards that were better than Pau Gasol at that time? Please enlighten me. KG was older. If you want to say Timmy, okay, fine. Who else? Who else? Powell was good. Listen, man, I'm just being real with y'all, man. Amari was not better than Powell. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. Amari was not better than Powell. And I would give you Dirk, but Dirk could play no defense. Dirk was a liability on the defensive end. A liability. Total liability. KG was not better than him because he was aged at that point. Remember, KG was already on the Celtics. Listen, once again, I'm saying as an overall player, Dirk is Dirk. I'm not disrespecting Dirk. Dirk is one of the greatest power forwards of all time. As a scorer, he's one of, oh my gosh. I don't see, only probably Hakeem, maybe from a power forward perspective, just pure scoring. But Powell as an overall player, come on now, bro. Come on now, bro. As a passer, rebounder, defender. Like, come on now, bro. And and you're acting like Powell didn't give him that work also. Like, bro, once again, like, yes, bro, y'all need to go watch back these games, bro. Please. Like, please. Go watch back these games. Go watch back those games. KG did work, but y'all acting like Powell was disgusting, like how LeBron showed up against the Mavericks or something. No. Powell was doing work. People forget. There's even people, see, that's what I'm saying, y'all not understanding, like, with certain stuff. But people even argue that that's what started the Big Three, was what the Celtics did. I always argue against it because I say they were in their declining years. But people say that it wasn't LeBron that started the Big Three. It was the Celtics. When you take Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Durant, a young Rondo, and you put them all together and say go win championships. Like, come on now, bro. I remember, because Artest took that team, that Laker team, to 7 games without Yao and without Tracy McGrady. All right, guys, we got to pivot. It's already 10:24. We got to pivot to some NFL news. Y'all going to have me on NBA all morning. Oh, my gosh. So if y'all did not know, here it goes right here. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles have declined the White House invitation for their winning of the Super Bowl. Now, guys, look, y'all know I stay out of politics on this time because politics be politicking when it comes to people. And some people might find, yeah, if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button, please. Thanks. Shout out to you, King Lee. Thanks for that, bro. They still want to find that he dropped 40 points in the deciding game. Yes. Yeah, he did in the deciding game. but you're acting like there wasn't other people on that team. That was a great team. It's a great team. I remember they moved him to center. And that little baby hook, he went to work. But that wasn't even prime Magic. So, yeah. But they all declined. If you know the backstory, their owner, I believe it's Lowry, his name is. He was a big DNC donor. He does not like anything on the other side. So he went to the team already not wanting to go himself. And, of course, the team said, yup, hey, we agree with you. We don't want to go. And they have come to the decision that they're not going to take the invitation. And they're just going to, yeah, we won. We'll celebrate here in Philly. Shouts to everybody else. We're good over here. Guys, this is, like I said before, I'm not on either side of this. I stay directly in the middle when it comes to this stuff. This is going to be a problem for the next 4 seasons. Letting you know this now. I'm letting you know this now because you're going to have guys and teams that say, look, that regardless of how you feel about him, he's the president of the United States of America, and we're going to go there and show respect. And you're going to have other guys being like, we don't respect him. We don't like none of y'all. We don't even like the White House. Bye. And we're not going. And you're going to have this problem for the next 4 years. You are. It's not going to change. I can go even so far as, and people saying, well, Trump's not liked, everything else like that. That's why. George Bush's last time in office, well, he wasn't liked either. I remember that. Oh, right before when Obama took over office, and George Bush, that last 4 years was absolutely horrible. Prices were through the roof, jobs, people had trouble finding jobs, everything else, and it was just whatever. And people, the argument will be made that people still went, even though his approval rating went like bottomed out for Bush. People still went and showed their respect to him. A lot of people thought they were calling George Bush the T word, you know what I'm saying, for going over there, starting wars over oil and stuff like that, because he comes from an oil family and stuff like that. And yeah, and people still went up. So the argument will be during that time, people still show respect to the presidency, everything else. This is just going to be one of those times for the next 4 years where this is going to be such a hot button topic. And it's a hot button topic now. And it's not going to change. I'm telling you, I expect that this is going to be addressed by the White House. And I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to address it. The players individually are probably going to address it. And this is going to be one of those storylines where it's just going to hit a fever pitch eventually. Because these things never fully die. They can always find new life based on the climate of the media at the time. So, yeah, this is, like I said before, shout out to the Eagles for getting your title. Two titles in the last 6 years or 7 years or whatever else it was. Congratulations to them. But to be frank, the first time they refused to go to the White House when Trump was in office. They refused. They said, we ain't going. So, yeah. They're keeping pretty much to their script. They're saying, we don't want to go when he's in there. We're not going. We didn't go the first time. We're not going this time. So, yeah. And like I said, the Eagles doing everything the Ravens should be doing. Yeah, let's be real. The Eagles have built an absolute powerhouse. But the argument can be made that if the Eagles were in the AFC, they wouldn't be as dominating as they are in the NFC. So, yeah, you can make that argument. I made that argument last week. We made that argument, and I showed proof, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. The quarterbacks in the NFC, when they come over to the AFC, they have problems. They fall off the map. And then when AFC quarterbacks go up and go to the NFC, they play like absolute dogs. And to show you how crazy he was, Bill Belichick brought it up. Bill Belichick, they were like, oh, if you need a quarterback, what do you do? He was like, take any of the quarterbacks from the Jets. So, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where the Eagles are great in the NFC and they're gonna win a lot of games. They're gonna be a problem for a lot of teams because they're built well. But I think they would take a little step back if they were in the AFC because I don't. Once again, the AFC is just a tougher conference. It's just you get beat up more. Some of the defenders are crazy. Like it's just different, man. It's really different. It's really, 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 really different. But like I said, I know that we're in a very hot button topic, political, you know what I'm saying, climate right now. But this story is going to end up, is that all late? What up? I be saying what's good, what's good, what's good. You know what I'm saying? This is just, it is what it is when it comes to that stuff. That's the political climate we're in. It's going to cause problems. People are going to have their opinion. And like I said, a lot of people are going to be pissed about them not going. Some people are going to, it's going to be 50-50. You're going to have people applauding them saying, yeah, don't go there. He's an idiot, blah, 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 blah. We don't want him. We never liked the president, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have other people saying you can't show respect to the presidency. Like, are you serious? Blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to have that. So this is going to be I'm telling y'all this now. The same way I told y'all that the Justin Tucker information and news was going to keep getting worse simply based on there's going to be more people to come out because that's how all of these stories work. And when the media gets quiet lulls, they're going to bring it back up. He might not be a quarterback like how Deshaun Watson was, but he represents the shield. And once you represent the NFL shield, you could turn that dial up because it's the most watched sports organization within North America, and it'll make worldwide news. So yeah. So you know what I mean? And King Lee, you have people that are saying the Ravens better not go. This is why I tell you I stay in the middle. You have certain people that are saying they should go, that they shouldn't go. This is, to me, just a hot button topic, and it's not going to stop. Because now, if another team wins there, let's say for the NBA, right? An NBA team says, we're not going to the White House. This is going to get brought up again. If an MLB team wins and they don't go, it's going to be brought up again. NHL, same thing. The women's basketball, same thing. So it's just going to be one. College, same thing. Remember before in Trump's original presidency, that was a big hot button topic. Which teams are gonna to take the invitation? Which teams are gonna turn it down? It became regular news. Ivy Saying says that's a little rough because he left early, right? Who left early? Who left early? And Mario B, I saw what you said, all-time skill positions on offense for football. I'm taking Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. I know Tom is the GOAT, whatever, fine. Y'all put him at the GOAT position. I'm taking LeBron. I'm taking Lamar at quarterback. At running back, running back is hard, bro. Because running back have had some dogs in their primes. I mean, do you want to pat? Like, do you want, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Man. Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders and Lamar in the backfield. To me, I don't know what you would do with that team. I think the teams would be like, bro, this is cheating. Like, this is cheating. So, I'd go Barry Sanders, Lamar for my quarterback and running back. Wide receivers, I take Jerry Rice and Calvin Johnson. As you need one more receiver usually because they usually run 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and stuff like that. Calvin Johnson, Jerry Rice. Dang. Dang. Fine. Randy Moss. As I'll do. Moss, Megatron, Jerry Rice. That'd be my 3 receivers. Tight end, I'm taking Tony Gonzalez. I think overall, I take him or Gronk at my tight end. Offensive line, I'm not even gonna get into that because there's some older guys that I'm not even like brought up all the way on. So, but you already know I'm what's it called? Left tackle, I'm taking Jonathan Ogden. I'll tell you that. I'm at least taking Jonathan Ogden on my left. But that's about my starting lineup. Lamar at my quarterback, Barry Sanders at my running back, Moss, Rice, Calvin Johnson at my wide receivers, Tony Gonzalez or Gronk at my tight end. And you could pick, Jonathan Ogden, and you could throw all the other greats in there as you want in the O-line. And I don't think I get stopped. I don't think you beat that team. I don't think you even, because if you put Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, or Calvin Johnson in the slot, you're getting cooked. Gronk, or what's his name, it to me could do both on both, like blocking and catching. Just could do both when it comes to tight end. Tony Gonzalez could just do both, and both could could go up and catch the ball, and had a lot of yak ability also. So that's them for me. I don't think anybody beats that. I don't think so. I don't see anybody beating that. But like I said, this is going to be a problem for the foreseeable future. I could see it becoming, because Fox is going to cover it nonstop. A lot of political debates are going to be placed on Twitter about it, about the Eagles' unwillingness to go to the White House. Like I said, who's the backup quarterback? Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Tom Brady with that much offensive talent. Yeah, he's throwing for 50, 60 touchdowns. But Lamar, with his running ability, with that much offensive talent, that you would never be down in distance. You would never be down in distance. You would never, even if everybody is perfectly covered, you would lose. You would lose. Because how would you stop Barry Sanders if you can't crowd the line of scrimmage? Because you're going to have to try to stop Lamar. And Lamar already showed you guys. He could go for 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions without a true number one on the outside. Heck no, Vic can't do, no. Lamar is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. There's a reason why he was almost MVP 4 different times, and he won it 2 times, one unanimous, and the second one almost unanimous. There's a reason, bro. He's him. People only, the disrespect that Lamar gets is crazy. We're talking about a generational level player. He's been past Vic. I already told you, Tony Gonzalez and Gronk. How are you beating my tight ends? Gronk and Tony Gonzalez? I take both of them over Kelsey any day of the week. Coach, if you're still in here, you watch a lot of tape. Am I tripping about my tight ends? Gronkowski was an amazing blocking tight end. And he had an extreme high level of yak ability. Tony Gonzalez could high point the ball better than probably any tight end in the history of tight ends. And he was a good blocker, and he had the size. Come on now, bro. Exactly. Eric Clark, exactly. Lamar is one of one, bro. People seem to forget that. They really do seem to forget that. But like I said, Gates and Kellen Winslow, you would pick Gates and Kellen Winslow over Gronk and Tony Gonzalez? Now, mind you, Antonio Gates was nice. If anybody doesn't know, he was the tight end for the Chargers. He was just put into the Hall of Fame. Amazing tight end for Phillip Rivers. But you would take him over. You would take Antonio Gates over Gronk and Tony Gonzalez? And you would take Kellen Winslow over them too? Mind you, this is your personal pick. So if you do, you do. I'm just, man. Antonio Gates is nice, but I don't know if I'm taking him over Tony Gonzalez. And Tony Gonzalez's prime was something else, guys. Gronkowski in his prime was something else, guys. And mind you, Gates was a dog too. But boy, bro. People forget how good Gonzalez was, bro. Ooh, LaDainian Tomlinson is a good one too. This man said the daddy, not the son. I know. Oh. Coach is crazy. He said the daddy, not the son. Yeah, I know. I know. Once again, okay. You wouldn't pick Shannon Sharp over Kellen Winslow? Prime Shannon Sharp? He's another one that gets overlooked. People forget just how good Shannon Sharp was. But that would be my tight ends. Listen, guys, that's mine. I don't see how you go wrong with that receiving core. From all the way from Moss to Calvin Johnson to Jerry Rice. I got size. I got route running. I got playmaking ability. I don't see Shannon Sharp to me. Oh, yeah, Shea over Winslow. Coach, come on now. Coach, we do this, baby. Bro, Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, and Moss, you're not stopping that receiving core. I don't care who you got. You can't stop Jerry one-on-one. He's eating up any corner you got one-on-one. Moss can take the top off of any safety in the history of the NFL. And Calvin Johnson is such a physical specimen, he could go up and get it on anybody also. So that to me is the greatest receiving core you would ever be able to make. There's no weaknesses in that receiving core. Moss, Calvin Johnson, and Jerry Rice, there's no weakness. Any of them in the slot, you're getting cooked. I'm telling you this right now, there's no linebacker that is stopping that receiving core. Or any of them in the slot. You're not. You're not. That's what I'm saying. People forget about Shannon Sharp and just how good he was. Shannon Sharp was an absolute dog. Shannon Sharp in today's league, with the amount of passes and the amount of scheme-oriented plays that are drawn up for tight ends and stuff like that, would be amazing. Absolutely amazing in today's NFL. Would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys, and there's always going to be tweeners like the Antonio Gates and everything else that everyone's like, man, those guys were amazing. I can't believe you didn't pick them. But once again, we're talking about the greatest of the great. You really can't go too wrong. But I don't see how you argue my wide receiving core. I don't understand how you see that wide receiving core and argue it. I don't see it. Rice, AB, Moss. Listen, AB literally got one of the worst cases of CTE we've ever seen going across the middle. Jerry could go across the middle. Calvin could go across the middle. Rice could go across the middle. So I'm not gonna pick AB, even though AB is one of the greatest receivers of all time. Like I said, there's no weaknesses. If you want speed, you want height, and remember, Jerry Rice wasn't a small receiver either, but he's one of the greatest route runners of all time. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. There's no weaknesses in that receiving room. None. Listen, bro, could you imagine Lamar with that type of receiving core? Bro, my God, it'd be pandemonium. Crazy work. Crazy work. But, guys, we're going to wrap it up for the morning show. I hope everyone has a great day. But you already know how we close these shows, close these episodes. I got to play something, I believe, from the late 70s when this came out. And of course, if I play the song, you guys will know what it is. But this one is more just a throwback than anything else. And this is a shout outs to the 70s, early 80s. You know what I'm saying? If you remember it, let me know in the comment section if you remember this show. Thundercats are on the roof. Thundercats are loose. Hear the thunder, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Do y'all remember it? Yes or no? Thundercats. Oh! That's right, coach. Let's go, coach. Bro. They sleep on this cartoon, bro. This is one of the most memorable cartoons of all time. Thundercats has been remade so many times. It was just everything about it. The creativity, the animation, the lore that went to it, the backstories, everything. This was one of the most complete 70s, 80s cartoons of all time. And it's being still remade up until now. The theme song was immaculate. The characters were immaculate. The story was immaculate. The animation was immaculate. I'm talking about Thundercats. Oh! Let's go! Bro, come on now, bro. Come on now, bro. Yeah, I remember. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Bro, crazy, crazy. Crazy, bro. I'm about to go watch some of them now. Yo, bro, man. I'm about to go watch some of them now. Oh, God, bro. Listen, man. Once again, you already know what it is. Just trying to make sure this, that's where this generation truly separates itself from all the previous ones, is because there was overlap. I'm an 80s baby. I watched multiple episodes of Thundercats. You understand what I'm covering? I watched multiple episodes of G.I. Joe. I watched, the Transformers. There was overlap. Flintstones, the Jetsons. You understand? Panthro was the black man. Oh, the Jamaican version to that song, I can't play it because you already know there's some curse, but that joke is hilarious. The Jamaican version to that song is hilarious. Hilarious. Oh my, if y'all don't ever look it up, y'all ever want to get the chance, look up the Jamaican version to the Thundercats. I'm not playing it on here because I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to play certain stuff, but that was one of the funniest theme song remixes I've ever heard in my life. One of the funniest. Kicking at your face, that's my thing. Look how she fast like a lightning. Voltron was another one. The reason why I didn't bring up Voltron because I was going to bring it up on another show, Coach. That's why. What's it called? The Cars. And yes! My dad brought that up. He was like, bro, they weren't always lying. There were Cars too. My dad brought that up. Yes. The Cars and the Lions. Voltron's another one. Just, man. It was almost like American anime. Almost. With the way how the characters and the story and everything went, just absolutely it transcends generations. Certain things do that. Pop culture, just icons. Voltron's definitely up there too. Yeah. I mean, Thundercats, man, listen, man. You see me smiling because I can sit back and watch some of this with my pops, and pops would be like, yeah, that's what I call a cartoon. Lionel and them, and listen, man, it's just great. I liked Voltron more. That's probably why I was such a big Power Rangers guy. I went more to Voltron because it's more Power Ranger-esque. You know what I'm saying? More Super Sentai. If you don't know what Super Sentai is, that's where all the footage for Power Ranger derived from, is Super Sentai and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah. And I saw somebody have the actual, like, they're like almost like full-size Voltron pieces. It looked amazing. And they put it together. You can check it on YouTube. It's just, man. The GOAT anime show of all time is Dragon Ball Z. It's not even for debate. It's the greatest anime of all time. Dragon Ball Z came out in, I believe, the 70s. People don't... Dragon Ball came out in the late 70s, if I'm not mistaken. Or the earliest part of the 80s. Like, Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball... It's the greatest anime of all time. It just is. Everything derives mostly off. There's not something that's derived more off of that. It's been copied. It's just, man, listen, man. That's one of the greatest of all time, man. It really is. It really is. People don't realize just how good all that was. And yeah, look at this. Dragon Ball Z came out in 1989. Dragon Ball Z came out in 1989. That's crazy. They're saying Dragon Ball started in 86. Bro, I thought it was before then, because if I'm not mistaken, on when he was first writing them and stuff like that, I believe it came out before then, Dragon Ball. But I'm talking about almost like this, like that's how old this is. And it's still, bro, we're talking about, and it's still dominating the waves now. The greatest anime of all time. It's not up for discussion. It's not up for dispute. It's the undisputed champion of the universe. Is Dragon Ball. Daima, no, I have not watched any of Daima yet. To show you how well I know this stuff. Goku all day. Goku all day. Superman is one of those characters that it matters what Superman you're using. Golden Age Superman is a cheat character. He could pull planets with just strength. Also, Superman Prime 1 million or Superman 1 million, whatever it's called, when he's golden, that's another cheat character. If you thought One Punch Man was a cheat character, those two Superman would beat One Punch Man with one punch. Like, that's how overpowered those two Supermen are when it comes. So, I mean, if you're just doing regular Superman, it's Goku all day. If you're taking those other Supermen, it's those two. They're almost gag characters. You know what I'm saying? Just how powerful they really are. So, yeah, that's where we stand on that one. So, yeah. So, shout outs to Coach. Coach was like, I was 12. Man, I'm an 80s baby. That's all I'm going to say. I'm an 80s baby. But Dragon Ball came out before I was born. Before I was born. Because remember, the comics and the stuff came way before the cartoons. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it came way before that. And then the Dragon Ball cartoon was a smash hit. And then Dragon Ball Z was an even bigger smash hit. Of course, I remember the famous Jet Jackson. Rest in peace to him. Also, you know, he took his life. So rest in peace to him when he had gotten older. But I remember the famous Jet Jackson on Disney. I remember that. I do remember that. Let me see. Dragon Ball manga real quick. And we're going to end after this, guys. Let me see. Yeah, see? The Dragon Ball manga came out in 83. The first one came out in 83. And it was totally completed by 1985. To show you how crazy that is. I be saying he was in high school. Dang, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like the ending of these shows, because a lot of this stuff connected us. Like, man, it brings you back to those days. The world has changed drastically from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, even the early 2000s. It's changed drastically. And sometimes it's good just to take down a trip down memory lane. And I take pride in that. I take pride that you could be at work. I know some of you guys are at work, and the smile that you guys will get when something like this comes up, from Thundercats to Voltron to Johnny Quest to the Flintstones, the Jetsons, or any of those other shows. Gilligan's Island, I Love Lucy. Like, yeah. So shouts to everybody for the love, you know what I'm saying? But that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show, the morning show. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be here tomorrow for another episode. We'll be live and early by 9. Yeah, and I love you guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for all the love. And y'all know my slogan. Peace. And I'm out of here. And also, if you guys want to donate, I know Super Chat is not there. If you want to use right now the Cash App, you can do that for donations. If you want to do a donation, Cash App is still there right now. That's why we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible so we can monetize. You can leave super chats. Also, memberships will be a thing in the future also. So, yeah. So, I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for the love, support. I love you guys. I'll see you on the other channel with the 2 vids for the day. And I'm out this piece. Y'all know my slogan. Peace. And I'm out. You know. Yerp.
Finish him, Daddy.
You're not my dad!